honestly not the most riveting interview so far because they just ask, class buffs like in WoDs, to which Ian says, well, if everybody's the same, nobody's, nothing's interesting, right? So they're not going to do that. Then there's another question on the difference between melee and range in terms of balance.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's big with the players, and it's existed for so long. Every time a new raid tier comes out, it's like this melee,
range raid. When will melee get a raid, or vice versa, or people not knowing which is which, and getting them confused. Oh, Christ.
To which it is basically the usual question of there should be a back and forth, but he did say we agree that right now melee are probably suffering more than they should be.
Yeah.
I think has it not generally been that?
I think it's been that for quite a while, as far as I remember. Although
playing a hunter is a bit unfair because
you're a melee range.
I'm a melee range, so I get the best of both worlds.
You do have to aim shot every once in a while.
Oh no!
Sorry about that. No, it's like it is fundamentally a really difficult design question. So it's like if they haven't nailed it by now, I guess they're not super interested in breaking the game apart in order to balance it, and they'd rather actually, keep going and eventually fix it over time. But I mean, just storming, thanks. It's awkward. I mean, you know what they do? Here's the fix. Here's the fix, Blizzard. I'll send you the invoice. Just double or triple melee's actual range.
Madman! Madman! You're going to turn everyone into a hunter.
No,
what am I going to do?
I just mean, instead of being that's going to use a very, very unreasonable expression to describe how close you would be to someone. But instead of being very close to an enemy to hit them, I mean, you don't have to be that close. Just give them longer ranges, like how Torin had when moving. That like extra range. Just do a little bit more of that, and then you're probably okay. Generally,
so take away the niche of some talents. Like, do rogues not have a talent that increases their?
Yeah, acrobatic strikes, but that's less for single target range. That actually applies a lot further when you're blade flurrying.
More important, okay.
Yeah, that's significantly more important. Same with the balance affinity on feral druids.
See, I find, I could be completely wrong, but sometimes it's less about melee range and it's more about the boss's hitbox and how it's implemented in game.
Yeah.
That leads to that sort of thing. Because there's oftentimes I find where melee players, you'd sometimes be surprised, especially in a big boss, like how far you actually can stand back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fair enough. We'll see. In terms of other things, just skimming down. There's one about hunter pets. Basically, Ian just teases there'll be neat hunter pets as we go forward in Shadowlands.
Hopefully
nothing specific in Spirit Beasts.
Hopefully you've got very cool quests to unlock them, or cool things like was it the Warlords of Draenor one?
Where you fought the hunter character in Snan Jungle.
Yes.
Yep, really cool. There's another one just in Demon Hunters and a third spec. Basically, Ian just said, we don't want to dilute other specs just for the sake of putting one in, but if it makes sense to, we'll do it, but they don't have any plans. So basically, no third Demon Hunter spec, which we... I don't know.
I'm fine with that. Like, what would they have? What fits the fantasy, etc., etc. But I actually think there's another reason, and this is completely conspiratorial, absolutely not the truth. But if you want to go extreme clickbait, I know why there's no new class in Shadowlands, and there won't be a new class for a while probably, and it's purely because the numbers right now are really, really nice. There's 12 classes. They average out to 36 specs. That's it. That's why. They don't want to mess that number.
That just because it's a nice number in your head.
Yeah, that's why Demon Hunters have 2 specs, because Druids have 4, and they went, we have to pull down this average to 3. That's it.
That's the science, yes.
Yep.
To finish this off, look, I don't think there's any point in going through the actual bulk of these. I've sort of pre-screened a few of them, but we can do WoW heads, sort of TLDR. Ian says the 9.1 will include a whole bunch of catch-up mechanics so the new players and alts can get up to speed. Have we seen much of that yet?
I don't think we have seen any of that.
There's some catch-up gear in the form of the Korthir rewards.
Yes.
I guess anima progression will get faster and faster and faster as time goes on in a way, which means you can get your Covenant Anima set. There is the rank 3, crafted gear, but it's only
it's
180, so it
180,
basically doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Renown catch up then. We've not seen their solution on that, but I think it is important because if you're a new player coming in and you just have to go through, so many renown levels, especially because they're adding in, the empowered conduit slots and stuff. In this patch, so it's like if you have got to get through 70 renown levels, I mean, they'd have to tune that catch up to be pretty damn catch up to rocket people through.
Yeah.
What's also the problem of, just playing the campaigns in a piecemeal fashion feels bad.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So there's that. Ian said that the Great Vault Stygia fallback reward is not interesting enough, but there's no plans to change it yet. Yeah, I mean, I do not... Whenever we were talking about this in beta, it's that thing, we didn't really know what it was yet. And we kind of thought, oh, Great Vault, brilliant. Even if there's a bit of gear you don't want, you'll be happy with what it'll have to give you.
Yeah.
No, it's Stygia. No one gives a shit. I mean, maybe if you give me 5 or 10,000 or 5,000 anima, I could be a bit more okay with that.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, it should be... Shit, I've worked it out almost. If Valor points was in raiding...
That's it.
Then you would just give people an option between Valor points or Conquest based on the PvE or PvP content they've done that week. That would feel good. Why is that not their plan? I guess a part of it's because Raiders don't use
any currency.
So how do you get it to work?
Yeah, that's fundamentally it. I think it's really... It's such a simple problem to solve, I think, fundamentally. Where you go, okay, well, there's no big bit, so what do you do? And here's direct inspiration from watching Michael roll a couple of wishes in Genshin Impact earlier today.
Not paid, not paid wishes.
No, the free intro stuff.
They've not got me yet.
But every time you get something, you get a little bit of stardust or star glitter, like you dust cards in Hearthstone, like you get a little bit of stuff. All they need is, like you say, Valor Conquest, just a little bit of, oh, sorry, but, you didn't get gear, but here's a gear's worth of stuff. So you're like, at least that's okay.
There's a ballsy one here.
Yeah.
There's no name on the guy's account, but it says, make it reroll. Imagine if your fallback reward was being able to click on one slot in the Great Vault and reroll it.
No. No, get away. You're evil.
Oh man, and then you can earn rerolls through the week or purchase them. Let's go, World of Warcraft gotcha.
Because I know the kind of person I am. I'm definitely the kind of person to go, that's a good bit of gear, but it could be better. It could be better. I'm gonna risk it and then get the same belt I'm wearing. And it's like, nope.
Because in my head, what I would do is it would retain the item level of the slot, but then change the piece.
Yeah.
Which would be chaos.
I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal because it's it's a fallback, but I would definitely abuse it. I would abuse it. It would be terrible.
So there's the next one here, Legos and stats, to which they basically said they're willing to look into refunding or reforging Legos if you want new stats or something like that, but they don't want a situation where people are just constantly refunding and re-rolling everything to always be optimal, which I basically do agree with. Because I don't think that would be particularly great.
I like the idea, but I really feels like such a difficult thing.
Yeah, it's tricky because if somebody's got like I don't know, would you ever have a slightly different stat power for AoE? I suppose you could, couldn't you? If you wanted to go fully into it, then you could sort of...
I don't know how massive that is at the minute.
Yeah.
But I know that is definitely the case. Definitely the case.
I guess it's the sort of thing. Would you want people having to then reforge their Legos in between a fight or between dungeons? You're like, man, maybe not. Even though the ability to make a bit of a change after the fact would be nice.
Yeah, it's definitely just at least for me, it's coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't play alts very much, but plays them a little bit. I'm kind of, honestly, because I'm also really kind of indecisive with what I play at times, spec-wise, especially when it comes to Lock and Druid, where I really love Affliction, but I also love Destruction. I really love Balance, but I also really want to play Feral a lot. I go and when I muster up the willpower to suffer through Choregast, then I'll go and do it. But then I'm stuck on what to do for a legendary that doesn't feel like it's gimping me. I'm kind of lucky on that a lot of the time because the shared legendaries are pretty good for a lot of specs at the minute, but definitely a problem for my kind of player profile. But at the same time, new stats is like, just suck it up.
Yeah.
Suck it up.